Hey guys, for those of you who don't know me that well, my name is Danielle Scott and I'm currently in Northwest Elementary School in an ESL first grade classroom. My CT, Miss Sangston, is a first year teacher and a recent graduate of ISU. In my previous discussion, I mentioned the benefits of having an ISU graduate as a CT. Not only can I easily relate to her, but she has implemented a lot of the ideas about classroom management, community building, and guidance at play that we are currently discussing in our classes. For example, in our literacy class just this past Tuesday, we talked about grouping strategies, a type of classroom management. While I read the article titled Organizing Literacy Instruction, Effective Group Strategies and Organization Plans by D. Ray Rutzel, I constantly was thinking of my clinical placement. Ms. Sangston has adopted many grouping strategies this article talked about, such as whole groups instruction, ability grouping, flexible groups, needs groups, and guided reading groups. I enjoyed learning and reading about new strategies, but I also love seeing these concepts and ideas used in the classroom. Ms. Sangston has set up a classroom where students know what is expected of them and know the routine of the day. My first day of clinical, I was overwhelmingly impressed with the management of the classroom. When the students first walked in, they expected to put their planner and folder in two separate bins that Ms. Sangston will check during the morning meeting. These are pictures of the bins. They are also expected to put their name in the correct bin of whether they are eating hot lunch or cold lunch, which I have pictures of that too. And once they completed these two tasks, they know to sit on the carpet in their assigned seat. Another tool Ms. Sangston has used for classroom management is by having jobs assigned to different students throughout the week. The students are able to identify their jobs based off Pete the Cat cards that are located on a cabinet in their room. Another way that Ms. Sangston has set up good classroom management is by having different groups labeled at the front of their room. The students not only know who they will be working with, but they also can see what center they will rotate to next. This is very beneficial in our classroom because, as I said, a lot of our students are ESL, so they are getting pulled out through the day. So when they come back in, they need to know where they are. Something that Ms. Sangston uses for the classroom management that we've talked a lot about this semester with Dr. Latham and Mrs. Hammond is a clip chart. Dr. Latham and Mrs. Hammond talk a lot about the negative effects of clip charts and how it is not a good way to have classroom management. When talking with Ms. Sangston, she mentioned how she does kind of like this strategy because students have the opportunity to think about their behavior if moved down and have an opportunity to move back up. This is the clip chart she uses. I see where Ms. Sangston is coming from, but I also see where our professors are coming from. I would love to be able to talk to more classroom teachers or hear what your guys' teachers use for classroom management, or if they use a clip chart, what their perspective is. Overall, Ms. Sangston has shared with me several ways she included classroom management, and I am able to observe those during my clinical. In our first grade classroom, I see a strong sense of classroom community, but I also notice a few issues between some students. Something Ms. Sangston did on the first day as a class was create posters of expectations of students, as well as expectations of the teacher. To this day, she has these posters hung in the classroom and refers back to them when needed. For the most part, students work well together, but there are a few students who cannot work together. I think it is crucial that Ms. Sangston is able to identify these pairs that cannot work together as well as those pairs that work together because it benefits all the students in the classroom. Something Ms. Sangston has instilled in her classroom is that we all have differences, and that's okay because everyone in the room is there to learn. I think it's important to identify that everyone is different, but it also point out that it's okay to be different. For guidance, she helps guide the students throughout the day, but she also expects them to try things on their own first because she holds them accountable for their actions and behaviors. The students seem to love school. Every Thursday when I'm there, that I have kids that, I love school so much. So obviously the students have strong reactions to what she is doing. Overall, I have been extremely impressed with everything I've observed in my classroom. Ms. Sangston has done an excellent job at setting up clear expectations in her room. Students know what is expected of them at all times and have set rules as a class because students set the expectations at the beginning of the year together. Every student in the room knows what is expected. I love that Ms. Sangston has shared with her classroom that it's okay to be different and we accept people's differences. Something we've also talked about is authoritative teaching, which you could read more about in the Authoritative Classroom Management, How Control and Nurturing Work Together by Joan Walker. Ms. Sangston is definitely an authoritative teacher, which we learn is represented by Hand in Hand. If you want to read more what I wrote about that article, you can see my attached document, and I'm also going to attach pictures of the classroom management things that I talked about in this video so you can see a better representation of what I have done. I hope everyone has a great day.